SQL injection has been around for at least 20 years, but it is no less powerful or dangerous than any other attack that we have covered so far. It is designed to exploit flaws in a website or web application. The attack works in inserting code into existing line of code prior of being executed by a database. So if SQL injection is successful, attacker can cause their own code to run. In the real world, this attack has been proven dangerous because many developers are either not aware of the threat or don't understand its seriousness, and in some cases don't even know how to defend against it. So result of this SQL injection. So what can be accomplished as a result of a SQL injection attack? Well, there are a huge number of possibilities which are limited only by the configuration of the system and the skill of an attacker. If a attacker is successful, a host of problem could result. So this could be happen like the user makes a request through the web browser from the internet to a web server, or the web server accepts the request. Basically, another way of this is called like anatomy of web application. Then a web server performs the requested task. The web application accesses the entire database available and responds to the web server. Then the web server responds to the user once the transaction is complete, and then the required information appear on the user's monitor. So let's now talk about server-side versus client-side technologies. First, let's look at the type of technology involved in browsing and working with the web. They mainly fall into two areas: client-side and server-side technologies. Server-side technologies are those that run and executed on the server itself before delivering information to the requester. Client-side technologies are those that run within the browser or somewhere on the client side. For the purpose of our discussion, we will not be covering the client-side technology here. So server-side technologies come in many varieties and types, each of which offer defined specific of the user. Generally, each of the technology allows the creation of dynamic and data-driven web application. You can use a wide range of server-side technology to create these types of web application like ASP, ASP.NET, Oracle, PHP, JSP, SQL Server, IBM DB2, MySQL, and also Ruby on Rails. So all of these technologies are powerful and offer the ability to generate web applications that are extremely versatile. So in the next lecture, we will go deep dive on the practical side. So we'll see how this SQL injection attack works, and we'll do this on our Kali Linux machine. In this lecture and the next few lectures, we are going to be talking about the popular type of vulnerability, which is called SQL injections. Before we start talking about how this occurs and how to exploit it, let's first learn about what SQL is. Now, if you are getting a contest on a certain website, chances are there that this website is a little bit bigger than smaller websites. So it's probably using a database. Most websites that are larger other than very simple websites, so I use database and the other database that use for to store the data. So there is a store username, password, news, article, blog post, pictures, anything that I think that happens on the website. So literally is stored on a database and web applications. So the databases and the displays the data for you to. So the databases display the data for the user to on screen. So when user do something, is updated and delete or modify the data that exists on the database. So the interaction between the web application and the database happens using a language called SQL. So let me show you what I mean by this way. This is just an example. I am not doing any hacking or anything like that. So I am actually just going to log on to the database that is installed on our machine, and we'll just going to see what's being stored on it. So I'm not doing any hacking. There's nothing in here. There is nothing fancy that logging into my SQL and then just, so this one I'm putting SQL -u username, then putting as root -h for host and the IP address of our server machine. So just press enter. As you can see, we are into this databases of SQL injection. So this is just the terminal for my SQL, which the mobile application would use to interact with the database. So I'm just trying to show you what I mean by database and what's saved in there. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just type in show databases. As you can see, these are the databases that are in here, which is OWSP10 is Metilde, MySQL, PHPMyAdmin, MetaExploit, DBWA, and all of those, which are installed by default. So when you install an SQL, the rest have been installed for each web application, and you can see we have a lot of this in here. We have like TikiWiki and all of those. We have also called MySQL. So when we called MetaExploit and also one for DBWA. So we actually have a database, and this database holds the information that is used by the web application. So let's see what's in there. So I'm going to use a Metilde, which is OWSP. So let's type select OWASP10. What's wrong? OWASP10. Select OWASP10. I think I put wrong, so let's try this one. Use OWASP10. Okay, you are in here, so let's just type show tables. So as you can see, each database has the tables in the tables, and there is a information. So we can see we have a table, so we can assume that this table has information about the username, password, and other information about the users, and we have a table for logs, account, capture data, credit cards, and penetration testing tools. So there is a table that contains credit cards, as you can see. Now this is huge for shopping websites, and they actually would have credit cards table, and the information for credit cards would be stored in here. So basically the database will store everything of all the data that is used on the website, because they don't get started on files, so it's not efficient. So let's have a look at the account. So if I just say select so let's type select accounts. So select accounts, then So I was checking only one account, that's why it showed error. So what you have to do now is you have to select all accounts. So just simply press star, select from accounts, I think. So let's also try that. As you can see, it's okay running. So as you can see, we have a call CID, username, password, my signature, and is admin. So this is just to show you that what database is looks like, just to feel on it, because in the future lectures we are going to exploit these databases and have similar access to this. So this just I logged in a user and the password. So usually you wouldn't have access like this, only the web admin would have access. That will show in our future lectures. So we're going to just try some attacks in order to gain access similar into this, so that we have a fully control over the database, so that we can read stuff and see if we can write and modify things. So I just want to highlight why is SQL injection are important and also dangerous. The reason behind is that they can be found and you can find them everywhere, and it plays a lot of places and have lots of big websites. So have this kind of exploits are like things like Yahoo, Google, all of them had. So that's all about SQL injection.